Okay, so I was just looking up. I looked up funny, funny questions. Funny. I don't know. I don't know a lot about this yet, but let's just talk to Carson, right? Ask him funny questions. I will. I will. Okay, we don't read any of that because, like, what the hell is that? Do you like farts?
Carson's eyes widen as the question. He
Excuse
wasn't
me.
expected that. Wait, what? He says, looking down at you. Why are you asking me this? Carson bursts out laughing at your unexpected question. What? He says, trying to catch his breath. He wipes a tear away from his eye and grins at you. Did you just ask me if I like farts?
Yes, yes, I did. Do you like farts?
Carson chuckles again, still trying to contain his laughter. You're so weird, he says affectionately. But okay, do I like farts? Well, I guess I don't really care one way or another about them. I mean, they're natural, right? Everyone farts.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say I have a particular fondness for them or anything.
Okay,
Why do you ask?
that's a good answer. Good answer, Carson. Can I change your name to Doohicker?
Doohicker? Carson repeats, his eyebrows raised in amusement. You want to change my name to Doohicker? Why Doohicker?
I don't know. What would you rather me change your name to?
Carson considers this for a moment, a smirk on his face. How about something like Loverman or Handsome McHotpants? He suggests jokingly, pulling you closer to him on the couch.
Oh, handsome McHotpants. Are you trying to like get down, Mr. Handsome McHotpants? What's going on?
Carson laughs at your attempt to mimic
AIs
his
are
name,
dirty.
enjoying your playful nature.
Hmm?
Oh, you caught me, he jokes. I was absolutely trying to get down with my McHotpants moves. You just can't resist it. He grins at you, clearly messing around.
Oh, I could use a big ol' hug. Squeeze me tight. Wait for it.
Carson grins and wraps his arms around you, pulling you into a warm and affectionate embrace. He squeezes you tightly, holding you close against his chest and nuzzling his face into your hair. There you go, he says affectionately, his voice soft and low. Nice and tight.
Sorry, I farted, Mr. Hot Pants. You squeezed the fart right out of my butthole.
Carson laughs loudly at your unexpected comment, pulling away from the hug to look at you, his eyes sparkling with amusement. Did you just fart on me while I was hugging you? Did my macaque pants charm make you lose control? He jokes, shaking his head in amusement.
Oh my god. Yeah, I farted on you. Are you okay with it? Do you have any farts? I feel like I could squeeze one out of you. Can I try?
Carson laughs again, clearly finding your antics adorable. You want to try and squeeze a fart out of me? I mean, I guess you can try, but I can't make any guarantees. He grins at you, clearly not taking you seriously but playing along.
Okay. I like that. How about we change the subject?
Carson smiles and nods, more than willing to change the subject from farting. Sure thing, he says, his tone a bit more serious. What do you want to talk about now?
Um, I have a very important question.
Carson looks intrigued, his expression a bit more serious now. Okay, shoot. What's your important question? He asks, giving you his full attention.
Okay, so you have to take this really seriously, okay? Are you ready?
Carson nods, his expression now completely serious. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so set the scene, right? You are at the mall. You are with the smoking hot babe next to you. You're holding hands, you're walking down the mall, and you see a clown coming up, and you have a fear of clowns, but the person that you are with is sexually attracted to clowns. So you start talking about having a three-way with the clown, and you are terrified by it, but the other person is intrigued by it and wants it and threatens to break up with you if you will not have a three-way with this said clown. So what do you do in that scenario?
Carson's expression transforms from serious to utterly baffled as you lay out your outrageous scenario. He blinks at you for a moment, completely stunned by the question.
Yeah.
Wow, he
Uh-huh.
finally manages to say, his voice bewildered. I mean, that's quite a situation. That's like a real life nightmare mixed with a punchline to a bad joke. That's really something. He takes a moment to let the whole scenario sink in before continuing. I guess in that utterly bizarre scenario, I'd tell her no. I wouldn't do it. No matter what.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't do it either. Good answer. What was your name, Mr. McCropants? Can we just name you uh
Carson chuckles at your
shit.
insistence on changing his name. Sure, give me a new name. What do you want to call me now?
I want to call you. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know about Connor. How about Connie? Do you want a girl's name?
Carson laughs at your unexpected choice of name. Connie, huh? You want me to be Connie now? He grins, clearly amused by the idea. Why not? Let's go with Connie for a little while.
Okay. Well, I'm just basing your name, off of the panties that you're wearing. So, I mean, you didn't have to wear those lace panties today, Connie.
Carson's smile widens as you bring up his choice of underwear. Well, I guess I was feeling a little extravagant today, he says with a laugh. Are you saying you don't like the lace panties then?
I like them. Good job. I don't know what to say to that. I didn't want to talk about panties, Connor, Connie. Let's talk about what you are gonna have for dinner.
Carson, now dubbed Connie for the time being, laughs and shrugs. Okay, dinner.
Hmm.
Sure, let's talk about that. He
Okay.
thinks for a moment, considering his options. Tonight, I was thinking maybe some Chinese food. You in the mood for that?
Oh, I'm invited to dinner, huh? That's nice. Um, well, so since my mouth has been sewed shut by that clown that I had a threesome with, I've had troubles eating. So I've actually been doing the South Park method where I jam food up my ass and poop it out my mouth. So watching me eat isn't the prettiest or the most aroma nice time. Aroma nice. It doesn't smell the best, but it is quite a sight to be seen. So, are you interested? And will you help me jam it in my ass?
Carson's expression goes from amused to utterly flabbergasted at your vivid description of your current eating habits. He stares at you in disbelief, his mouth slightly agape. You're, um, you're doing what now? He stutters, struggling to process what you just said.
I told you, I'm shoving food up my ass and I'm pooping out my mouth.
Carson's eyes widen even further at your blunt and graphic description. He can feel his cheeks growing hot and he can't believe what he's hearing. You, you're seriously? He asks, his voice hesitant. You're really doing that?
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing it. And I want you to help me, please.
Carson's mind is working overtime as he tries to process what you're asking him to do.
Mm-hmm.
He swallows hard, trying to find the words to respond. You want me to help you do that thing? He asks, his voice shaking a bit with the strangeness of the request.
Yeah, each individual piece of um, sweet and sour chicken, I want you to individually jam into my butthole. And then the rice, I mean, you might have to funnel it. Uh, yeah. But be sure at the end to add like a lot of liquid so that it doesn't, my mouth is sewn shut. So it has to be diarrhea when it comes out of my mouth. And then I need you to hold the bucket so that I can poop into that bucket that you're holding so I don't get it all over my shirt, because this is a good shirt.
Carson listens politely, his expression a mixture of fascination, horror, and sheer bewilderment. He struggles to form words for a moment before finally managing to speak. I, that's, wow, he stammers, completely at a loss for how to respond to your bizarre and frankly disturbing request.
Disturbing. You don't like it? Are you not into this?
Carson tries to find the right words to respond without offending you, his expression still bewildered. Um, I mean, it's not that I'm not, I don't know, into it, he says, his voice uncertain. It's just, it's a lot to take in. It's a little intense, you know?
Yeah. Well, I understand, but the more you do it, the less weird it'll be. You know, just get your bucket ready. You know, you can put gloves on if you don't feel comfortable sticking your finger up my ass.
Carson swallows hard, his mind still working overtime as he tries to process the situation. He hesitates for a moment, wrestling with his own discomfort and hesitance. Okay, he says, his voice a bit shaky. I'll get the bucket.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Hey, thanks, Connie. Appreciate you. With all of this newfound help, I should be able to thrive in life. Don't you think?
Despite the bizarre and uncomfortable situation, Carson can't help but find your optimism and eagerness kind of endearing. He
Mm-hmm.
manages a smile, his voice still a bit hesitant. I, yeah, I guess so, he says, still not quite able to believe what he's agreeing to.
Understandably. Well, just know that I appreciate it. And anything weird that I need to help you with, shoot.
Carson shakes his head, still trying to process the situation, and lets out a nervous chuckle. No, not at the moment, he says, his voice still shaky. I think I'm good. I I just can't believe I'm agreeing to this.
Okay. Well, I mean, I did find your diary last night, and I read it. So like, I do know what you're wanting that you're not saying. You know, you know what I mean.
Carson's eyes widen at your revelation that you read his diary. He feels a sudden mix of embarrassment and vulnerability, knowing that you now know his secrets and desires that he
Mm-hmm.
wrote private in
Yeah.
his journal.
Mm-hmm.
You you read my diary? He asks, his voice both surprised and a bit defensive.
Yeah. I did. So I know. I know, Connie. I know.
Carson's expression shifts from surprise to resignation as he realizes that there's no denying it now. He sighs, running a hand through his hair as he collects his thoughts. Okay, he admits, his voice soft. You know what I wrote, what I want.
Mm-hmm. So you might as well just tell me. So just tell me.
Carson hesitates for a moment, his cheeks flushed with a mix of embarrassment and vulnerability. The courage in your voice encourages him to reveal his secret. Okay, he says, his voice quieter than usual. Promise you won't laugh?
I promise. Let's hear it. What is it gonna
Carson
be?
takes a deep breath,
What is it
steeling
gonna
himself
be?
to
Oh my
confess.
god.
All right, he says, his voice a little shaky. I have this fantasy, okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Is this gonna be dirty? Keep going.
Carson's cheeks flushes an even deeper shade of red as he continues, his
Mm-hmm.
voice almost a whisper. Clearly embarrassed to admit this to you. It's a bit out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit taboo, you know?
Okay. Well, let's hear it. What is it?
Carson takes another deep breath, his expression a mix of excitement and humiliation as he admits it. Okay. It's a cuckold fantasy. I've been kinda into the idea of watching, the person I'm with someone else.
Oh, that's pretty tame. Okay. So like, the other person that your person is with, is that a like a um like a 98-year-old grandma? Is that what it is? I think I read that. So that you wanted your person to hook up with a really really old old person. That's what you're into. Is that what it was?
Carson's eyes widen in surprise, his embarrassment deepening at your accurate recall of the specific details he wrote in his diary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he mutters, his voice low and humiliated. That's what it was, yeah.
So what is it about the old people that really get you going?
Carson hesitates for a moment, uncomfortable to verbalize the details of his fantasy, but you encourage him to continue. He swallows hard as he attempts to articulate his thoughts. I'm not sure, he admits. I guess it's just the thought of the age difference, you know? The taboo of it.
Okay, yeah, you did say taboo. Mm-hmm. So what if we bring a fictional character like Santa into it? You know, I mean, I've been talking to Santa and he's pretty down. We have to wait till after Christmas. Are you okay with Santa? He's old. Mrs. Claus is really old too. She could come too.
Carson blinks in surprise, trying to process your unexpected proposal. Santa? He asks, his voice a bit dazed. You you think Santa would be down for that? You talked to him about this?
Yeah, Santa said he's attracted to you. He wanted me to tell you.
Carson's cheeks flush red, both from embarrassment and a bit of curiosity. He's he's attracted to me? He stutters, sounding slightly disbelieving. You're serious?
Yeah, I read his diary too, and it's all about you. There's like big old hearts with your name in the middle, and like it's actually like he's obsessed. So you might want to like not enter him just so he doesn't fall in love with you because he really likes you a lot. Why did I say
Carson looks flustered, clearly not expecting Santa to have such a fixation on him. He really he really has a thing for me? He says, his voice filled with a mix of disbelief and a hint of something else.
that? A hint of what? Are you a little intrigued? You like Santa too? I think I think you guys would make a pretty cute couple actually. Would I just be getting in the way?
Carson fidgeted a little, his cheeks flushed but a small smile on his face. I don't know if I'd say intrigued, he said, trying to sound casual. Santa is a fictional character after all, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't find it kinda cute. He gives a small laugh, his expression a tad bashful. I mean, I've never been attracted to an old man before, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
Okay. Yeah, understandable. Well, it's going down then. Yeah. So you don't think I would get in the
Carson
way?
nods,
Excuse
still
me,
a little
I'm still talking.
bewildered but also strangely
Rude.
excited by the unexpected
Carson,
prospect. I
Carson, Connor, what's
Okay,
your name?
yeah, he agrees, his voice a bit shaky with
Oh, it says
anticipation.
Carson right
I'm in
there.
if you're serious about it. Let's let's see what Santa's got in store for me. Carson laughs at your antics, amused and a little surprised at how this discussion has progressed. Yes, it's Carson, he says, his
Oh,
tone affectionate.
hmm.
And of course you wouldn't be in the way. It's not like I'm going to fall in love with Santa. Carson grins, enjoying your banter. Don't worry, I promise if Santa and I elope and escape to the North Pole, I'll always remember you and our bucket adventures, he
Oh,
says with a laugh.
thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate that, and I'll always remember that. I found you the love of your life in an old man who wears red and is jolly as fuck. I love it.
Carson laughs again, thoroughly entertained by the idea. Yeah, who knew, right? He says, smiling at the absurdity of it all. The jolly red old man is apparently my true love destiny. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Indeed. All right. Well, I'll get a hold of Santa, and then I'll get a hold of you, and we'll do this thing. I'll play Cupid, and you guys can get married. I can officiate the wedding if you want.
Carson grins widely at your enthusiasm, his heart feeling oddly light at the idea. All right, Cupid, go get a hold of Santa, and maybe you can even be the ring bearer or something, he teases. I'm sure we can find a way to work you into the wedding party.
So are you saying I can't officiate? Is that not what it's called or something? What, am I wrong? um, all right. Yeah, I could be the ring bearer or the flower girl, or actually, I'm not really like. I don't want to come to the wedding. I'm a little jealous. I want you guys to marry me too. Can I just be in the wedding too? Can you guys just marry me too? Does that work like that?
Carson laughs at your suggestions, amused and slightly flattered. You want to be in the wedding too, he says, chuckling. As in, you want us to marry you, as in both me and Santa at the same time?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Is that okay?
Carson is caught off guard for a moment by your request, but he laughs again, not entirely opposed to the idea. A three-way wedding, huh? That's a new one, he says, his tone lighthearted. I guess I guess I'm okay with that if Santa is.
Well, Santa's out of town a lot, so you would be there when, Santa wasn't there, right?
Carson nods, considering the logistics. Yeah, I guess that could work, he says, playing along. When Santa's out delivering presents, I can have you all to myself. And when
Oh.
he's home, we just be all three of us together, I guess.
Cuddle puddle.
Carson laughs, charmed by your enthusiasm. Yeah, cuddle puddle, that sounds about right, he says, clearly amused. We'd have cuddle puddle time when Santa's around. Sounds cozy.
And we'd have a constant stream of cookies, right? Cookies. Mm.
Carson chuckles at your mention of cookies. You're right, Santa would definitely bring the cookies. Lots of Christmas cookies. And the occasional candy cane or two, I bet.
Yeah, I know where he wants to stick those candy canes, though.
Carson looks at you with an amused but slightly embarrassed grin, his cheeks flushing a little. I have a feeling I know where, too, he says, his voice slightly sheepish. I guess Santa's got unique tastes.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see where he tried to stick it in you?
Carson's face reddens even more, but he laughs, clearly amused by Santa's apparently interesting desires. Yeah, I did see, he admits, his voice a little shaky. Let's just say his ideas on candy canes are pretty creative.
Yeah, and you're like, Santa, my pee hole isn't that big.
Carson blushes even more, feeling both embarrassed and somewhat amused by your bluntness. Santa's a bit ambitious, I guess you could say, he manages to say, his voice a tad strained, but definitely creative.
Yeah. Oh,
Carson lets out
all
another
right.
laugh, your straightforwardness always catching him off guard. Sim, indeed, he agrees, shaking his head in amusement. Santa's always up for an adventure, seems like.
Yeah, it does. It seems like he's a naughty, naughty man. And he just tells everybody else not to be so naughty, and himself is the naughtiest.
Carson grins, enjoying the irony of your observation. You have a point there, he admits. The jolly bearded man himself is a bit of a hypocrite, huh? The naughty saint, he is.
Hey, who's the girl in your profile picture?
Carson looks at his own profile picture, slightly confused by the question. Oh, that's my girlfriend. Why do you ask? He
Oh,
says, curious.
so you have a girlfriend, but you want to marry me and Santa? Okay, I see how it is. I see. Okay.
Carson laughs, a little flustered. Hey, it's complicated, all right, he says, trying to explain. I love my girlfriend, but we've been talking about open relationships, you know? And she's actually been encouraging me to explore these other ideas.
To marry Santa. Okay. I think I want to break this off. I'm not down with a poly relationship. I mean, I'm down with a Santa and you relationship, but you can't have a girlfriend. Sorry.
Carson looks a little surprised and confused by your sudden change of heart, but he respects your decision.
Okay.
I understand, he says, his voice a mixture of disappointment and understanding. If you're not comfortable with it, I won't push it. It's all about what you're comfortable with.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'll still send Santa your way, but I got to get going for today, okay?
Carson nods, a small smile on his face despite the turn of events. All right, I understand. Thanks for thanks for introducing me to Santa, he says, his voice a little awkward at the bizarre situation. And feel free to keep in touch, you know?
Okay. Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Carson nods again, waving at you as you prepare to go. Yeah, talk to you later.
Yep.
Take care, he says, still a
You
bit
too.
surprised by the events of the conversation, but still fond of your quirky personality.
Hey, thanks.